y'all, welcome to Fitting and Homemaking. Today I need to do some cleaning, but I'm not feeling particularly motivated to do it. Last night I was actually able to get kind of like the kitchen and stuff mostly sorted and was able to do the laundry and stuff, but some of the other rooms are just being neglected. And yeah, so since I don't really feel like doing much, I'm going to set a 10-minute timer for each room, and we'll see how many rooms that I can get through before I just run out of steam. But we're gonna start in the bedroom because I know I need to change out the sheets, or at least get them started in the wash, and then come back. How should I do it? I think I'll actually change out the sheets just so that these don't get too worn. And then, you know, there's some other stuff. You can't see over here too much, but the dresser is pretty much a disaster area right now. So I guess let's stop talking and get to it. I have a 10-minute timer on my watch, and we will actually, well, you know what? I was gonna say let me go get the sheets first, but no, we're just going to focus on 10 minutes and that's it. So start timer, it's going for 10 minutes. All right, let's get to it. Going over to the linen closet, I'm going to try to not really cut too much out of this since we're just doing 10 minutes together in each room. And I want to give you the same 10 minutes that I have. So apologies for the disembodied voice, but here we are. All right. Let's see if we can whip off these sheets. I don't think I'm going to wash the comforter today, just because that feels like a little bit too much. But you know what? The weather is turning. We had false fall a couple weeks ago, and then it was summer again for part of last week. It was 90 degrees on Saturday, and I'm filming this on a Tuesday for you guys to see Wednesday, I think. And now it's back to fall weather again, and my respiratory system is flipping out. It does not like it at all. So I actually, for the first time in a very long time, have started back on like a daily allergy med. My allergies used to be super duper bad, so I kind of cycled through all the allergy meds. I'd take one for a couple of years and then it'd stop working. So I'd switch, and then eventually I just kind of made my way through all of them and they stopped being effective. So I just kind of suffered for a few years, and then my allergies actually got significantly better. But then last year, around the change, I don't know why I'm tying this, I should just take it off. Have to remake the bed, Sarah. But last year around this time, I actually had something similar happen when the weather was changing like this. You know, I was getting congested, but I was still breastfeeding my son. Let's just move these out of the room so that they're not gunking it up. And so antihistamines are something that like dries up your milk because it just completely dries you out in general. So I didn't want to take one of those, but then I ended up getting a super duper bad case of bronchitis that just lasted for forever, to the point where I bruised ribs while coughing and they thought I had pneumonia, so I had to get chest x-rays and stuff. And it was just a really, really horrible, not fun time. And this year, when I was starting to get congested again like that, I said, no, thank you. So now I'm trying out Zyrtec. I just took the first one yesterday. I'm so confused by this. Where's the tag in here so I can tell which corner goes where? The other sheets, it's easy to tell because there is a pattern on the sheets. Here it is. I think this one goes in this corner. Because it's easy to, or does it go in that corner? Frick. Well, we'll try it out. Does it go in this corner? I think it weirdly goes in this corner instead of the other corner. Anyway, I took Zyrtec for the first time yesterday, and I just took another pill, so we'll see if those help me with this congestion, because I think I'm just, you know, having some gross drainage at night, and and coughing all through the day. Oops. And that feels especially awkward in the post-COVID world, because whenever you cough in public, it's still a little bit like, are you sure you're not sick? I'm like, I'm pretty certain it's allergies. But you can get sick from allergies if they fester, right? Which is what happened to me last year. So we are trying it, even though I'm someone who doesn't particularly care for taking a lot of medicine. I also don't particularly care having to go to the hospital with pneumonia, so trade-offs, right? All right, I think that was the right way. It's fitting pretty well. I really just need to write on that tag, bottom right quarter. Okay. I don't know why I brought this out. I need to go put that back in the thing. I'm like still holding on to my top sheets like a safety blanket, even though I switched over to using a comforter. So I'm a little bit out of breath. This mattress is, it's a king size mattress, and it is heavy, or at least heavy for me. There we go, get some darker color fall vibes. As if gray was a fall vibe. It's not really. I apologize for any heavy wheezing sounds. I have been using my inhaler over there. All right, I do like these pillows, although I got these pillows because they're supposed to be cool feel pillows, and if you like actually feel the pillow itself, it feels like that. But of course, that is completely negated by any sort of pillowcase that you put on it. But I'm also not going to use a pillow without a pillowcase because that's just disgusting. Okay. See how much stuff we can knock off the dresser by picking this up. Sorry if that was really loud on the mic. I don't know if I got you guys there or not. All right, where's the zipper? There we go. Rah. And honestly, it's not, doesn't look good for YouTube, but I almost never put the shams on the pillows because it's extra work. I think it looks fine without them. I just fold down the top. This way it's more ready for me to just pop into bed. And I just put this decorative pillow here instead and call it a day. So that needs to go out of the room when I get a chance. I think this is bothering me here. These clothes are dry now. So let's take care of these clothes next. We have about 2.5 minutes left in this room. Also just gonna pile this over here. Hopefully it doesn't fall down and have an incredibly loud crash. All right. This gets folded. We're lazy folding today. Because honestly, I just want it up. That gets hung. All right, into the drawer you go. Into the drawer you go. All right, this gets hung up. Fantastic, I have a hanger ready. All right, and my husband has his little hoodie hanging up over here, which irritates me because I always step on it when I'm on my way to the bathroom. So we'll just hang that up and pop it in his closet, and I will let him know I have hung up his hoodie and put it in his closet. Oh, there's the thing that I knocked over. All right. What else? We have 1 minute. These books don't belong here. Tissues. Hate throwing away other people's tissues. It's like a newly discovered pet peeve because I guess in a previous life I couldn't fathom that tissues would be left out. Let's see, what else? Let's put the bobby pins into the bathroom where they belong. That's kind of messy, but more used tissues and trash. All right. Even though it's technically the bathroom, these have been sitting on the counter in here because I need to go put them in the compost. All right. So let's see, what else does not belong in the room? These belong in here so that my kids don't see them every single second of the day and want them. All right, and that was 10 minutes. So I'm just gonna pick up this one other kitchen thing and stop going off. Thank you. All right, so that's the pile of stuff to go out of the room. So we changed the sheets, we made the bed, we put up the laundry that was over there and broke down the drying rack. We hung up my husband's thing, and then we did a quick sweep of the room for trash and for things that did not belong in this particular space. So I think that was good for 10 minutes. All right, I'm going to go transfer the stuff to the that doesn't belong in this room to the places where they belong, and then I will see you in the next space. All right, since we started with bedroom vibes, we are going to continue on. As you can see, my kids were playing this morning before daycare, and we did not get around to picking up things before we left. There's also a doll on the table over here that I don't think you can see. We're gonna go ahead and wash their linens. I think I will wash their comforters as well since it's been a little while. So that's the plan. And if we have time, maybe we'll do a quick floor clean, but I don't know that we'll have time for that. So 10 minutes on the timer and go. All right, I actually have to climb up here, get all the stuffies removed. Oops, just making it more of a mess. Come on. All right, there we go. There we go. Yeah, this is, I don't know how so much dirt and stuff gets up here. I mean, they bathe before they go to bed, so don't fully understand that, but that's been drug around the floor a few times. And they don't wear their shoes up here or anything, and it's like outside dirt. But I don't need to understand it, right? I just need to clean it. Actually, understanding it would be amazing because then I could not have to clean so often, but we are cleaning today, so it doesn't matter right this second. And I need to put her extra mattress cover back on here, which I think is already clean. All right. And I think with this one I'll do their linens as a first wash today. And I'll just add the extra mattress cover like this. That is not up there right now. My daughter probably doesn't really need it, but in case she like takes a drink up there or something, you know, she's not supposed to do that, you know. My kids are like any other kids. Sometimes they listen, and sometimes wiggle. There we go. Get over there. What did I do? Oh, I put his other pillow over there. Okay. Thought I'd lost a pillow. All right, so I am going to take this out of the way real quick just because it's such a big pile. Dump it on my sheets out here by the laundry room. I found that it's better not to leave the room when you're doing these kinds of cleans. Okay, how does that close? Maybe piled on this side. But yeah, sometimes it's just easier to work in a space if there's not a bunch of stuff. Oh, I forgot Peggy. Crowding the space. Okay. Oh, there's just so much junk in here. Actually, I felt really bad. I actually broke a toy of my son's trying to fit it into this bin. So we'll see how much he misses that and if I replace it or if he has enough other toys where he just doesn't really notice and it's fine. Oh, it's one of her stuffies. All of the cars. All right. If I can close the closet, I'm just going to close it so I can ignore it. Baby doll also goes in there. All right. And we have about 5.5 minutes. So let me go ahead. I'm going to take their hamper out to the laundry room too and pick up our vacuum and see if I can do a quick vacuum in here. Of course, I put all of the sheets right in front of the storage closet where we keep the vacuum. Our little laundry room area space is a little tight when things pile up in front of the doors there. All right. Get this guy plugged in. I'm not sure how much you can see. I'm trying a different angle in here so y'all aren't just like staring straight at that window. But here we go. I'll try to lower the sound on this part so you guys aren't deafened. So what happens when you're not paying attention to where your cord is and you unplug the vacuum? minutes. We have about a minute left. And I am going to see what you can see. And then wipe off this table with a wet wipe because looks like there's some stuck on Play-Doh. Also mystery substance on the baseboard right behind the table. So we're gonna park him over here. And there you go. Now, I know since the beds aren't made, I'm gonna have to come back in here. But, oops, don't wanna scrape my ring. But that's just part of life with laundry and whatnot. And honestly, it doesn't take that long to make them. All right, that is my timer done. Let's get mystery substance off the baseboard. Pretty certain it's a booger. All right, we are done in here. So we stripped the beds. We tidied up this area over here. We did a very quick vacuum, which I see already spots I missed, but better than nothing. And got the Play-Doh off this table. So I think that is a win in this space. So let me go put the vacuum up and decide what space we're doing next. I'll see you in just a minute. All right, guys, so normally the living room is definitely an area I would spend 10 minutes on, but to be perfectly honest, we've been kind of keeping this tidied pretty well. And even though I'm sure it could use a vacuum, I did vacuum either yesterday or the day before, so I don't think I want to waste one of my 10 minutes on that. But something that does need to be done is laundry. So let me face you towards the laundry room, and I think we'll do our next 10 minutes doing laundry. Okay, I've got 10 minutes on my timer. So we're going to get a load of wash in and see if one needs to be transferred over, see if one needs to come out of the dryer. I know there's some laundry happening in here right now, so let's get started. And to go. Okay, didn't think I was gonna have to jump up here. My kids wanted to do this puzzle last night, and then it just kind of devolved into not playing well together. It's not. I forgot there was this little toy on top here that I couldn't see. Get up there. All right, now that I have acoustical ceiling popcorn spray in my hair. Okay, the washing machine's free, so let's go ahead and load that up first. Really need to actually do a thorough clean of my washing machine rather than just cleaning the drum with a washing machine cleaning tablet. All right, so this can all just be popped in here. Get all the kids done since I'll have to put that back on later today. And honestly, all of their linens, including their comforters, is one kind of larger load. So do that. Come on now. All right. Go ahead, get that started. Go ahead, clean out the lint. I did take the lint from my old lint bag and put it in my compost bin. Let's just put this here so it's not chilling on the floor. All right. Really need to clean off my dryer too, but that's for another day. Right. Clothes. let's see. If I can get these folded in the rest of the 10 minutes. Do we think I can? I do not know. Preemptively grab some hangers of each kind. Probably far more hangers than I need, but that's fine. Okay, go over to the couch. You guys can come along. All right, is that close enough for you guys here? If you, let's go. Ooh, that's too close. Oops, sorry, I hit you guys. Let's go. Ugh. Yay, YouTubing. Okay. No idea if my head is in that shot or not. But you guys aren't actually watching to see me, you're just watching for body doubling or to see cleaning. So here, that'll be a little bit easier for me to fold quickly. I'm sitting down instead of bending over the whole time. We have about 6 minutes left, folks. Hopefully most of this is folding, so that tends to go faster than if I need to stop and hang stuff. And I know I'd be talking to y'all, so I don't have any sort of video going on in the background that I'm listening to. So I could talk to you about interesting things, but we are focusing on just making our way through some chores. That probably needs to hang and go in the sun. So I've noticed our detergent isn't great at getting out tomato stains. So what I do is I just put them on a hanger and put it on the back porch and then sun bleach them. And that tends to work fairly well for tomato stains. It also worked fairly well for when we were doing cloth diapering with my daughter at first. And then we realized that the daycare didn't do cloth diapering. So it was just kind of like just doing it on the weekends. And then that didn't really make sense since we were having to buy a bunch of diapers anyway. Anyhow, also good at getting out bodily fluid stains, I guess you would say. That it comes out and it's clean, but there's just some of the discoloration left still sometimes. So we would hang out her cloth nappies, so to speak, in the sun, and that actually worked really well for us. I was pretty bummed when the daycare didn't do that, but there were only a couple of daycares in our area that did it, and they both would just like bag up the diapers, which is like fine. I get it. It's not their, I mean, it is a little bit their job to change diapers for infants, but it's not, laundry is not their job, right? But it's much easier if you just rinse them out first, and then you don't have to combat with the smells at all. Oops. And this is me being anal retentive about not folding it unless the seams are in, even though this does not look precise at all, I'm sure. We got about 3.5 minutes left. Seems like an awful lot of laundry in there left, but maybe they're bigger items. My son loves the shirt with the little animals on it. We are members at our kids museum because it's like the year membership is the same amount as if you just visit 4 times. So that's definitely worth it for us because it gets pretty hot in the summer. So we'll go if it's really hot outside and they can't play outside, or if it's raining, or in the winter if it's really cold one day and they aren't wanting to play outside. So it's our outdoor play alternative, essentially, I guess is what I'm saying. But we went the other weekend because my daughter's friend was having a birthday party there. So we took both of them there before their birthday party. We just drove separately so that I could come home with my son and get him lunch and get him a nap while she was at the party. And they have stickers when you go in there to let to let the staff know that you're supposed to be in there. And, essentially that you've paid. So we get member stickers. And my son was wearing a different shirt and he wanted to switch to this shirt halfway through the day, but he still had his, I put him way over here. He still had his museum member sticker on, and he made me transfer the sticker to his new shirt. So I guess he really likes that sticker on his shirt. But they're kids, they like stickers, right? These pants are a little bit big for him. Or they're not pants, they're shorts. But they are definitely of the saggy style. About a minute and a half left, so I'm guessing that I'm definitely not going to get through this basket. But I will have done more than had I not started, right? There's the match for that. So sorry, this part is probably not, where did I put the other one? There it is. Particularly interesting because I find it a little bit more difficult to talk while I'm doing laundry for some reason. I don't know why that is. I don't know if you can see Max in the shop, but he's keeping me company there. He's probably about to do another walk. Daughter shorts, do you have a pile for her yet? No. Sorry, I just hit you guys. Oh, and sorry, I hit you when I was vacuuming in the other room too. You guys were a little bit in the way. So I didn't fully get to vacuum in that corner, but it was fine. We vacuum that room fairly frequently. All right, and that is the timer done if you are following along. And just see what is left in here because it hurts me a little bit to leave this kind of task partially undone. Let's see, shorts, my other sock. It's actually not that much, so I'm going to continue on. If you are just doing 10 minutes in each space, your time is done for that space. Maybe go get a glass of water, take a breather. And I think I think I will do the kitchen. Even though we've been keeping up with it, there are a couple things in there that I would like to do that I don't normally get around to doing. So it'll kind of be a little bit of a different type of cleaning in there from my normal just upkeep cleaning. And I should probably really do the kids' bathroom. They've been doing some bath bombs lately, and instead of, and the tub is at the point where it needs to be bleached again, but like scrub bleached as opposed to just like spraying it and then rinsing it. So I think those are the two spaces that we will do and then call it good enough for today, because that'll be what? 2 bedrooms, the laundry, and then 2 more spaces. That's 50 minutes worth of cleaning, folks, plus this little extra bit that I'm doing here. So that's not too bad. That's not too shabby, right? Goes in the kitchen. All right, and just so you do get the, if you are watching rather than body doubling, so that you get the satisfaction of seeing this couch totally cleaned off, I will leave in the footage of me putting this stuff up, but since we're over the 10-minute limit, I will speed that part up for you guys, okay? That way you get the satisfaction of seeing it, but then for the people who are body doubling, they don't have to wait for quite so long to get to the next part. Almost done. Looks like we have maybe 3 more items in here. One of them is a towel, so let's move some of this stuff so I have room to do a towel situation. All right. All right, empty basket. So no, you know what, it's just gonna be more efficient if I go there. So I'll see you guys in the next space and speed this part up. Hey y'all, we are over in the kitchen now, and to be perfectly honest, we have actually been keeping up with the kitchen, which is nice. There aren't any dirty dishes to do right now. I mean, there's dirty dishes in the dishwasher, but it's not full, they're fine there. But there aren't any dishes in the sink or on the counter that need to be washed. So we're going to do 10 minutes in here, but we're going to spend that time doing something that I don't get to do very often, and that is going to be bleaching this countertop. We have white countertops, so they show every single stain known to man, but we can also bleach them, so that's fine. I just haven't done it in a really long time, so I'm hoping these stains come up, and I'll bring you for a closer look in a minute. And then let's go ahead, and the microwave needs a little love. It hasn't been cleaned in a while. So we'll do those 2 things, and then if we have time, we will maybe do the floor, wipe down some cabinet tops, or cabinet fronts. So we'll see. Let me start the timer. I'll bring you for a closer look and get the bleach on the counters. All right, here we go. 10 minutes. So I don't know how much of the stains you can see on there right now, but this stuff here, just tea and coffee rings, and there are some rings on there from like cast iron being sat on there and then getting wet. So it's really, I don't know if you can see it all. Let's see. It's coming through very white on the screen, but in real life it is absolutely not. So let's go ahead and get that cleaned. I've got my bleach spray here with the wonky sprayer that gets stuck. And honestly, it's just here where dishes pile up and where we do tea and coffee. Ooh, that is getting a little bit farther than I would like it to. And I am going to go ahead and scrub that around a little bit so it's not just sitting all in one spot. And you know what? I was gonna leave this on here to soak, but it already looks like it's gotten the stains up. All right, let's see. Maybe I can just wipe it off. You guys are a little bit in the way, but I actually want you to be able to see. And this is kind of an older sponge that I'm just gonna use to wipe this down. Wow, that actually did a really amazing job. I'm impressed scrubbing Bubbles. That did a way better job than the other off-brand bleach did the last time I did this. Hopefully you can see that, a difference on camera there. It's always a little bit disappointing when it's a big difference in person than on camera. You can't see any of it. Sorry if that's just a massive shot of the back of my shoulder, but when dealing with bleach, I don't trust doing this with my offhand, because I am not ambidextrous at all. All right, well, very happy with that. And I will throw this sponge away so that we don't use a bleachy sponge for non-bleachy things. Fantastic, that went way better than I thought. We'll put this guy back. All right, let's see if we can get you guys turned. Ooh, my hands are all wet now, so it's hard to do the camera. Sorry, guys. Might be a little shaky here. Ooh, unlock, unlock, unlock. There we go. That might be a pretty good view. All right, I know you can see the gunk on the door there. Let me see if I can get you a little closer up. You can kind of see the stuff in there. We'll try this view. I have a feeling I'm gonna be standing in front of you the whole time though. Let's take this guy out. We can hand wash him. Yay, dishes. We're also gonna hand wash this guy. Can you see that? Yuck. All right, now I need to get a sponge. Sorry, I'm trying to give you guys a little bit closer up views of what I'm doing with these. Oops, sorry. Hit you with the trash bin. Our sponges are behind the trash bin. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit closer up view of this. Dang it, I hit you again, sorry. A little bit of a closer up view when doing these things, so. All right, new sponge. And honestly, I'm just gonna get this stuff, wipe it down with some water. So that's gonna get a decent amount of it off. Then I'll go in with some soap. There's stuff on the top here. See how easily it comes off if I need to do the water trick or not. You would think with that cover dish in here that it wouldn't get this bad, but I guess it does. Like I said, this is just not something that I keep up with. Yuck. Yuck. Yuck, 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 guys. Just putting a little, well, that didn't work. Putting a little dish soap in here. All right. Scrub this off a little bit with some dish soap. Because honestly, nothing really seems super stuck on, where a little elbow grease won't get it off pretty quickly. Apologies if you're just staring at the back of my head again. My gosh, I realized one of the videos that I uploaded the other day, I don't wash my hair every day, and I noticed that I must have had like a really bad part in the top from where it slapped on it, and it literally looked like I was balding. I mean, maybe it always looks like that and I'm just unaware because I don't see the like top back of my head that often. I don't know, but it was not the most attractive angle ever. All right, I think it just really needs to be wiped out a few more times and then it'll be clean. I only have a minute left, so let's get this wiped out. I was gonna say those tests went a lot easier than I thought they would, but it still took the 10 minutes. So there you go. I guess low effort, but time consuming, if you can consider 10 minutes to be time consuming. And I think I'm gonna get one of my reusable paper towels and just wipe it down. Get down the little bit that dropped onto the stove here. Oh, there goes my timer. All right, so let's just wipe this out real quick. And I do want to make sure that the turntable and that protector gets back in here, because if I don't put it back in here, it's just gonna get super dirty again, right? So, come over here, my lovely. Sorry for the blinding light coming in there. And just like the other time, we will do a slightly extended, but if you were following along, your 10 minutes is up. You can rest, you don't have to do anything else. But this shouldn't take me too much longer. That's all clean. And then just give this guy a good wipe down. It's always harder to clean because of the shape. Oops. Getting soap everywhere per usual. All right, and clean enough. Try not to rack myself on the open microwave door. We'll just wipe these off real quick so we can put them back in there and be done with it instead of leaving them out to dry. Oh, I was going to tell you about the countertop. So my husband is a dishes in the sink person. I'm a dishes on the counter person. I get his perspective. Like, we don't have a lot of counter space and it can stain the counter if there's really gross stuff on it. But I don't like dishes in the sink because in the sink gets used and then you have chunky, cold, dirty, nasty dishwater in the things that... Sorry guys, let me get you looking up again. Boop. And the things that you eventually have to take out of the kitchen sink to wash the dishes and use the kitchen sink, and that just grosses me out so much. So we've been keeping up with the dishes because my husband and I both agree no dishes are better than dishes either in the sink or on the counter. So we have made a renewed pact to try to keep that under control. We have one last room in the bathroom and then I'm gonna be done, and I will be very happy to be done. So I will see you in the bathroom. That's a very odd segue, okay? I will not see you in the bathroom. You are going to meet me in the bathroom for cleaning. Okay, we're in my kid's bathroom. I would like to get the sink taken care of because there's toothpaste and nastiness all over the sink and spit on the faucet. I would like to, just gonna throw that away. I need to bleach the tub because it needs to be bleached, and they've been using a lot of bath bombs, so I need to like scrub bleach it rather than just spray bleach and then rinse, which is what I've normally been doing. And I need to do a bleaching of my son's little training potty. So let's go ahead and get started. We got 10 minutes on the timer. Last room, let's power through if you're doing it with me. If not, I hope you have enough cookies to have made it this far through the video. I really want a cookie. Maybe I'll bake. No, I have too much work to be able to bake today. But I did want to talk to you. Let's mix chemicals real quick. Actually, we're really not going to. I'm going to spray the Windex on a towel because I just sprayed bleach into their sink. But I want to just spot clean this mirror because we're lazy cleaning right now. And I want to spot clean the faucet. What was I talking about before? Please don't mix chemicals. I was saying how I wanted to bake today because I want fall goodies, and fall is like the start of my baking season. And because I felt like that the other day, I am super excited that I've planned a little fall baking series for myself. Last year I ended up doing a Thanksgiving, I guess it was kind of like side dishes, some just Thanksgiving dishes that were traditional to my family because we've always gone to my husband's grandmother's house for Thanksgiving, and I haven't really had a chance to do my family's Thanksgiving traditions and food and that sort of thing. So I made some for you guys and showed you things that like maybe not everyone makes. And but this year I think I'm gonna do some cozy fall recipes. Actually, I know. I don't know why we say I think I'm gonna do this thing. I know I'm gonna do this thing. And just some of the recipes that I like making in the fall. One is going to be a chili crock-pot recipe using turkey, but you could easily do it as vegetarian with one more can of beans and just like leave the turkey out if you want a vegetarian. We've actually done that quite a bit too, and it's turned out really nice. And we are getting choked up on the bleach. Normally I have the fan on in here and I will turn it on. I just know you won't be able to hear anything over the fan. So I'm gonna turn that on as soon as I leave here. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, turkey chili, but you can easily make it like a 3-bean chili and make it vegetarian, and we've done that a number of times before. But that's something that when the weather starts turning fall, that I like to make, and it's so easy to make ahead, and then you have extra to freeze, and then on those nights when you don't want to cook, you can just take it out and heat it up, and it's so easy. This looks like there's toothpaste all over here, so let me also do this countertop. Got about 7 minutes left, so I should have enough time. Put that in the tub. Bleach in the tub. So we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to be baking because I much prefer baking to cooking. And I'm going to make some oatmeal apple cookies. It's like an oatmeal cookie, but instead of gross raisins. Sorry if you like raisins in your oatmeal cookies and you like to deceive people into thinking that they're chocolate chip cookies when they're not. Tangent. Feel very strongly about that. But anyway, they have little chunks of apples in them, and it's just really, really delicious. So we're going to be doing those. And then we are going to be doing, what's the third one? This is why I write things down, folks. Now I check on my phone, but I film on my phone, so obviously I can't do that. Darn it, what was the other one? It wasn't pumpkin. Oh, it was sweet potato biscuits. Sweet potato biscuits. So, and if you want to do all three together, they actually make a nice meal because you got plenty of veggies in the chili. Ew, this is kind of gross. I'm going to do this too real quick. You get plenty of veggies in the chili, and then the sweet potato just adds to that, and the sweet potato and the biscuits just adds to it, and it's just a little bit more of a fall vibe than traditional biscuits. Why is this so yucky? Sorry if you can't see this that well. I was trying to get you closer up views in the kitchen because I could actually maneuver you guys places, but in the bathroom it is not easy to maneuver you places. All right, I might need to bleach that later, but that is not my main concern today. This stuff back that doesn't really belong here, but not dealing with it now. Okay, I will see if I can move you guys closer to the bathtub here. Let's see if I can do that or not. I don't know if you guys can kind of see that ring around there, but that's what I'm looking to get rid of. So let's go ahead and give it a good old spray down. And I'm just gonna be doing the bottom part of this. My kids don't really shower. We just rinse them off after they've had bath bombs, and that's pretty much it. All right. And I am going to spray bleach into this, but y'all don't need to. I feel like that's maybe a little bit yucky to see. So try to scrub in here. I love how well my son is doing at potty training right now. He's doing a good job, but sometimes when he goes potty without telling us, then the potty sits in the training potty for longer than his pee sits in the potty for longer than it should, and then it's a little bit hard to clean. All right, so I'm gonna let that sit a little bit. And yes, I'm using the same brush because it's covered in bleach. It's fine. Literally just trying to get that ring off so that it doesn't permanently stain. See if I can scrub this a little bit more. Or if we're gonna have to let this sit for longer. Well, I've got about 2 minutes that I can continue to scrub this, so we'll see. Good gracious. It's just not wanting to come clean. I'm gonna give the rest of the tub one more quick spray just to like sanitize it. Wanted to make sure it wasn't going to be like a hydrojet. And there's my timer going off. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do, let's turn my timer off. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let that soak in there for a little bit longer, let the bleach soak in, but otherwise just be done with this room. I got the sink, I got the bottom part of the mirror that had the spit on it and the faucet. I cleared off this shelf over here. And I think we're just gonna let that soak in. Need to put up my chemicals and essentially, if I can get past you guys, put up the laundry. So sorry if that wasn't a terribly satisfying one. Ooh, my hands are so slippery. Hopefully I didn't just get bleach on my ass sitting on there too. I don't think I dripped any. All right, y'all, so we did our 10-minute timer challenge for cleaning today because I wasn't really feeling it too much. And I knew I would only have to spend that amount of time in the room. I know in a couple of spaces I spent a little bit longer in completing a task just because it felt better to complete the task than to leave it undone. But we did the main bedroom, we switched out the sheets and tidied just a little bit in there, put up some laundry. We did the nursery where we tidied up some toys and we stripped the beds. We did some laundry, which I'm about to switch over their sheets and comforters and put it in the dryer so that I can go ahead and remake those before they are back from daycare and they can have nice clean sheets, cozy beds tonight. But I will do that off camera. We did the kitchen where I was able to get those stains off the countertop way easier than I thought. And we were able to get the microwave clean. And then we just did the bathroom with some more bleaching in there, getting some spit, some toothpaste, normal crud that builds up, and some bath bomb residue out of the tub. So I am pretty happy with that for 5-10 minute intervals of cleaning. I hope you were able to get some of your chores done if you were body doubling, or just had a cozy time watching snuggled into your couch with some tea and cookies. And now I really, really want cookies or some kind of baked good. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. But I'm going to switch over this laundry. Please like, subscribe, comment if you like this kind of content, and I will see you the next time. Bye.